guys, before I get into this, I've read your comments and saw several comments in my last video about how you didn't like the song I chose for my background music and found it very annoying. I hear you and I won't use it again. Now, on to the story. When I was 15 years old, I got my first job at an amusement park, and I thought it was gonna be very fun, and it was gonna be like one of those happy TV dream jobs. We even had a little party at Pizza Hut, like a pizza party, to celebrate the fact that I got my first job. At first, people thought I wouldn't be able to go to my prom because this amusement park opened around the ending of spring, but if you are a high school student and you're going to prom, just talk to your managers and they'll let you off for prom night if you want to go. I was not really good at this job. See, when I went in, I originally asked for like anything where I could be in the water, like a lifeguard, or work your retail, like selling items to people. And they're like, okay, we'll put you in food. And I was like, wait a minute, what? I honestly did not want to be put in food. Lifeguard, it makes sense because you need to actually have training and skills to be lifeguarded. I didn't have the skills or the training for it. So I was put in a little stand where I sell cotton candy, popcorn, souvenir cups to people, and I didn't really get a lot of training. We had a little practice on register, but it wasn't a lot of practice. And we got put in a stand by ourselves. We weren't allowed to have help. We had to do it on our own. So obviously that didn't go well, and it made a lot of people really mad at me. At one point, like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying so hard to figure out what I was doing. And it made another teenager with her mom, like, so annoyed that she just rolled her eyes, took her hand. She's like, come on, Mom, let's get out of here. I'll take you to a different stand. And I just felt so terrible that I often got written up because since I wasn't really given a lot of training and I didn't really know much of what I was doing, I messed up a lot in the money too. Money sometimes didn't add up, and I got written up for that. Then I started getting put on the Dippin' Dots stand. I didn't mind that. If you don't know what Dippin' Dots is, it's pretty much like the frozen sweet sugar, like dots. It's like ice cream, but in like a little miniature ball form. I was under that burning hot sun, and every time I got ordered, I could open it to put my arm into that ice cold air. I would just be like, ugh, as I put my arm in there trying to scoop up some ice cream. And the Dippin' Dots is also the very first time I got a group. Not just a group, a bus. And this group was huge. And all the kids just ran over there and were not staying in line. They were just all over me and they were all talking over each other. And again, I was a kid and I was still learning, didn't have a lot of training. And a first group like that, it was scary and I was panicking. So obviously I messed up. And the teacher just glared at me, hands on her hips, and just gave me this most evil look because of it. And I just had a look like, I'm sorry, I really am trying here. I'm so sorry. I thought I was never going to get out of this situation. I was stuck in it for such a long time. Like, I tried to teach myself how to get better at it, but over time I started to get better, but it took a while. Sometimes I get sent to other stations if another employee was on break. Like, they tell me go to this stand, somebody's going on break. I go to this stand, and every time, like, I got sent to go on somebody's break, like, they pretty much asked me to do everything that I was bad at doing. Like, they asked me to lift these heavy-ass chairs. These chairs that weighed, like, a ton. I was a stick at the time. I had no muscles, so I could not lift those things. Like, it took me, like, 10 minutes to lift just one. Flipped upside down on the table. Then they got annoyed, sent somebody else to do it. My favorite stands to work at was like an area, it's like a funnel cake place and a pizza place. Like, I worked the pizza area in the daytime and I'd go over to the funnel cake one after my break for dinner time. And the catering thing, because the catering wasn't hard at all. The catering, you're actually with a group of people. You're pretty much just giving whatever piece of food that the person asked for right in front of them. It's not hard at all. It's super easy. And we even got to eat the leftovers afterwards. And then we cleaned up and we baked cookies for the stands because we sold cookies too. We baked we got to eat the broken pieces and we wrapped them up. Then I liked the catering. And the woman who ran it was super nice. Another problem I had was I wasn't eating enough. I was losing too much weight. Like, I lost a ton of weight there. Like, I was already skinny as it is. I was pretty much becoming like a skeleton. I remember one time, I know I wasn't supposed to, but I was just desperate for food. I was in a hurry out the door because I had a late start, and it took me so long to get to where I worked because I lived way far away from where I worked, and when I got there, I didn't have time to eat. So I was starving and desperate. I took a piece of grilled chicken, ate it really quick, and there was a guy who caught me, and he was in clothes of a regular employee, so I mistook him for a regular employee, and just with a desperate look, I was like, I know I'm not supposed to, but I was really hungry. I didn't have time to eat it all today. I had a late start. It takes forever to get here. Please don't tell the manager. And he just thought, oh, don't worry, I do it sometimes too. And I actually am your manager. I went cold, and I just stared at him. I was like, oh my god, no. I did that right in front of my boss, and I didn't even know it. He just didn't have his uniform yet. And he was really cool to work with. We talked about bands we like. I think he quit though, honestly. One thing working there, it was so hot that you only got paid like $7 per hour. The pay went up, now it's $10 per hour. I actually tried to get hired there again, see if they could put me in indoor building food area, or see if they could put me in retail or something, like somewhere where it's cool, since they pay more now. And it's been years anyway. They haven't hired me back, but I'll get to the reason why that may be in a bit. Another bad thing was we were under that burning sun all the time for hours, especially the full-time people. I didn't drink the water given to me because a lot of time I was given very disgusting water, and I'd open it and there'd be like bugs in there. And at the time, I didn't like to speak up about that stuff, so I made myself suffer, and I ended up passing out. It freaked the customers out because it happened right in front of customers. I was taking orders. Human resources came, cooled the cloth on my head and my neck, and they drove me to the human resources building where I was fanned off, and they called my mom, asked them to come pick me up, and mom would drive me home. It happened on more than one occasion. I did not do well in that sun. The sun and me that opted not having time to eat was not a good combo altogether. I remember one time I worked overtime. I was starving, I was hot, I was exhausted. It was a busy day as it was because it was like a band day. It was the beginning of summer. Mom called, she's on the way to get me, and she's like, honey, I made you steak, potatoes, and broccoli, your favorite. And I just had such a happy drill. It's just like, oh my gosh, mama, I love you. On the drive home, I was just imagining the taste of that nice, juicy steak. I fucking love steak. If you take me to any place with steak and a nice, juicy, good seasoned steak gets put in front of me, I couldn't. It's just all, oh, you will never see a bigger smile from me than that. That is my absolute weakest, happiest moment. Anyways, I got home and I just couldn't wait to get into that steak. Only no broccoli, no potatoes, no steak. No nothing. It was all gone. All the dishes were cleaning. I was just so heartbroken. I was like, what happened? One of my other family members looked at me. He's like, we're sorry. Your older sister and her 3 kids came over. We expect her to come over today, and they took what was left. I legitimately wanted to fucking cry there. Not to mention I had to go to bed anyway because like I just wanted to pass out how exhausted and tired I was, and I had a morning shift anyway, so it's just like, okay, I'll just get a bowl of cereal and cry in bed. It's funny to say now, but I wanted to cry at the time. But one day, I was actually off for the day, and I was actually with my mom and one of my other older sisters, and I was actually going on a date with my boyfriend at the time, somebody I could say like the hottest guy in my school. We had a lot of same interests, and I was looking forward to it. Then suddenly, I get a call from them saying, "Too many people left and can't show up today. We need you." I did break down and cry there. Me being a teenager at the time, that really made me emotional, and I legitimately cried there. After a while, I couldn't handle all that anymore. Mainly me being starved a lot, all the heat, being sunburned, passing out, being expected to do way too much when they were completely aware that they were asking me to do some things they knew that I needed help doing and didn't help me out at all. So one day after my shift, I went up to Human Resources, took off my name tag, took out my card to clock in and all, and walked out. I couldn't do it anymore. And since I did that, I didn't even ask for a 2 weeks notice. I just put my foot down and walked out. I've been trying to get hired back there because they pay more now, and I was a stupid kid then, so I thought, well, that was years ago now, so maybe they'll hire me back and understand I was just a stupid kid and I'm an adult now. They won't. They will not hire me back at all. I feel like it was because of how I quit. Could be other reasons, but I feel like that's the main cause of it, because I didn't give a 2 weeks notice. But anyways, that's my story of my very first job, and I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you guys. Nighty night.